So yeah, every American critic I follow has been really disparaging about
I
the
just
final
went.
episode.
Is that it?
Yeah.
When it finished? Is that it?
When you finish a long-running show like that, and it has a disappointing conclusion, does it sour your feel towards the whole thing?
No.
No, it makes me reminisce about when it was good.
Has Gary gone inside himself? Where's he gone?
Hello.
Where did you go?
I didn't go anywhere. Well, this is supposed to be Gary Goes West, and you've just
And,
hijacked.
but I just wonder, you know how much you both hated the end of How I Met Your Mother, for example?
Yeah, but all it did was make me go back and watch it when it was good. I mean, that's the thing.
I think it ruined that season for me, maybe, rather than the entire show.
Yeah.
The end of How I Met Your Mother season 9, it sort of ruined that season. Sorry, go on.
Series 9 is the best series that you could almost watch standalone, I think.
But that's what I mean.
Hang on, Gary disagrees. Series 9 not the best series of How I Met Your Mother?
Not a chance. It's the first.
I do. Well, yes, but after the first, I think that you could almost skip to the 9th.
You know, the first series is the best one. Sorry.
But the ending ruined that season, not the entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they rushed the final episode. The final episode should have been...
Because it's like, let's build up to Barney and Robin's wedding by having them split up in the last episode.
Yeah, and then resolve all the things that we wanted to do in one episode, when actually we had a whole 22 episodes.
We'll end it the way we wanted to end it 7 years ago when we had
when we thought we might be out.
The characters have changed several. Yeah, anyway.
The Kings have already announced their new project, something about aliens or something like that. But do you think they've left this open? I don't know, something alien-esque. Do you think they've left this?
Talking about aliens or something like that.
I'm not bothered about it.
Will it be the Mars wife?
Do you think that they've sort of left this open, not to come back to The Good Wife, but to do more spin-off or something like that?
I think so. I mean, not a lot of people got not many characters got a definitive conclusion, really.
Diane got a slap though, from what.
Whoa! Spoilery.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh.
Spoilery. Past the quarter-way mark through Game of Thrones. Yes, that does only mean we've got 3 episodes, but
that's just terrifying maths. That blew my mind. That was on a SATs test. I would not understand it.
Indeed. So Luke is out of this because he doesn't watch the program. So this is just for me and Matt. The third episode has given lots of people lots of hope for this series. I think both the second and third episode. We've got flashbacks going on. We've got characters being dead, characters being brought back. Matt, are you still watching, or are you going to be doing a splurge?
Yes, I am.
A lot of people are saying that this series has slowed things down. Do you feel that way?
I feel yes. I think it has slowed things down because.
Can you have an original thought, Matt, please?
Remember the good old days when Luke didn't turn up for podcasts?
Yeah, it does feel slower because there's a lot of things that are building up, like the stuff with what's her name, Khaleesi.
Yeah.
Daenerys with the Khal Drogos and what have you.
Dosh Khaleen.
Yeah, that one. That's sort of building up. There's stuff with like Tyrion and things like that, and that's sort of going on its way. A lot of stuff doesn't feel like it's in the middle of something yet, but it feels like we're getting there.
And it's fair to say that a lot of the sort of criticism last season was the fact they diverted from the books, and this season is very different because we don't have books to rely upon.
No books.
Right. The other thing that I watched is a new comedy on E4 called Angie.
I saw a little bit of this as well. I saw
did you?
One
Okay.
with the wedding.
Oh, that's it. Yes, Angie Tribeca, which they've started about 2 weks ago. It stars Rashida Jones, who was part of the ensemble.
I really like her.
Yeah,
I
part
really
of the
like
ensemble
her.
cast.
Have you seen this?
Really liked.
No, but I do really like Rashida.
Yeah, great. Tell us how you feel about Rashida Jones again, Luke.
I really like her.
Thanks. Yeah, she was part, obviously, of the cast of the program that we loved. That Matt is now going to tell me.
The Office,
Parks and Rec, and The Office.
Thanks. I completely forgot. She was in The Office as well. You're quite right. I forgot about that.
I am.
She stars as the eponymously named Angie Tribeca. Tribeca is a place in New York.
Angie's a woman's name.
Angie.
It's a very how would you describe? This is very Naked Gun.
Naked Gun.
Yeah, very Naked Gun. Very that style of humour.
I mean, this one I saw was set at a wedding where it was like a wedding planner who was using as a front because she was like making cakes of cocaine or something like that.
That was it. When she
Something
was
like
distributing
that. I did
cocaine
see
as
clips of
flour
that.
whilst buying the cakes. There's some very funny moments. I mean, it is a little bit cringy at times, but there are some lovely little jokes. They always get a different car in every scene.
And Alfred Molina was in this as well.
Alfred Molina plays.
Seriously?
Yeah. He plays a non-blind mortician.
Yeah.
Or
Pathologist.
pathologist. Yeah. It's silly, but it's supposed to be silly, and it does not try and sort of be realistic in any way. It doesn't try and solve a crime in a sort of conventional way. It's silly for silliness' sake.
And this is a TBS original, and this, I think, is the first TBS original we've had on E4.
Yes.
It might not be the first TBS original to come over to the UK, but it is certainly the first one on E4, so they obviously saw something in it.
Yeah, and I think it's quite good, but if you're not into that kind of slapstick,
it's very
kind of
spoofy,
humour, you're not
isn't it?
going to like this. But if you like that, then this is very good.
And I should say as well, I've got Netflix now.
Of course you have. Yes,
on my Virgin, and I've been watching a lot of Grace and Frankie. Gary,
Which
really
Gary hated.
Does that get any better?
Your sort of thing with it was the fact that they turned Martin Sheen gay, and he will always be President Bartlett to you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah,
he doesn't really convince as a gay man, I have to say. But
wait till you get to the final episode.
Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin are very good together, and I think it's an old school sitcom. It's very old fashioned, but
and very old people.
And of course, it's Martha Kaufman
who
from
did
Friends.
It is very like, they've got like the main set where they, like the beach house where they sort of hang out, and that's their main base, and like.
But there's no laughter track or anything,
no.
is there? No.
It does get quite serious as well at some points, but it's a good comedy. I enjoy it. It passes the time quite quickly. So.
I think they should take your Netflix account away from you just because of that.
Marcella. There you
Okay, well, I have watched that.
Is this getting any better?
Well, for me, yes. I still think it's good. I think I did watch this whilst I was away on holiday. I watched this. This was on while I was away to catch up, and I would still say this is very weird, but very good. I don't think that there is going to be a satisfying conclusion if that's what you're kind of going at. But I think you're seeing good character development.
I just find everybody in it so cold.
Mm.
Has anybody warmed? Has anyone?
I had with The Secret though as well, Luke.
When I was intrigued by The Secret, whereas this, I just found everybody so
I don't
annoyed.
think we talked about The Secret, have we?
No, it was on during.
Well, we will get there. There's nobody to root for in Marcella. Presumably, you're supposed to like Marcella as she's the lead character.
Well, certainly in this
even
last
that-
episode, they wanted you to like Marcella because they filled out the old idea of where she lost her daughter backstory.
Oh God, we've got to make sure people
Yeah,
like
6
it.
episodes
and
in, we should
you're
make
right,
sure.
that did feel very much like, all right, we need people to feel sorry for. So
The interesting thing is Saga Norren, who is herself very cold because of autism or whatever thing they want to say she is on the spectrum or not, I don't know officially, but I never felt like she was cold. I always liked her as a character.
you liked her for her eccentricities.
Do you think it's just Anna Friel? Or do you think anyone playing that role would struggle?
Don't know.
Because
I don't think we'll know
I
that
don't
till
like...
the series is over, I think, because you won't know where they're going with it.
Are Anna Frail and Sophie Okonedo trying to have like a competition to see which of them has the least silly fits for series?
Yeah.
Friel Canedo. I can feel a Friel Canedo mix coming on.
Crossover.
Although, moving on quickly to the Hollow Crown. Have you finished with Marcella? Sorry,
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah.
Apparently, you
Sophie
moved on quickly
Okonedo
to the whole...
also in that this week.
Everybody was in that.
The Shakespearean adaptation, Hugh Bonneville, Adrian Dunbar, Anton Lesser, all the people who are already in everything, like Anton Lesser.
All the people that just, you know, it was like Band-Aid. It was less like...
Jason Watkins, Sally Hawkins, Hugh Bonneville, Philip Glenister.
Yeah.
Very briefly, he didn't last long. I don't know how many people wanted to watch, approach sort of the Hollow Crown, because I'm guessing neither of you two watched it.
I didn't.
Did
I
you watch
did
it?
flick it on, and I was just impressed by the amount of famous faces in there.
Yeah.
But it was whether it's I've got the intellect, because the thought is that you already don't have the intellect to watch it.
I think they do a good job of trying to make it as entertaining as possible. I certainly got the grasp of what was going on throughout, because sometimes you do struggle with with Shakespeare things. I enjoyed it. I thought it was well produced, well acted. One name that I didn't mention there, probably the best performance of the lot, was Ben Miles from Coupling.
You don't see him at all now. I saw him in the clip. It's weird that
he's really good in this. He was like the sort of devious one who was trying to sway public favour to him, and he was having an affair with Sophie Okonedo, who's the queen.
Did it feel long? Because it was an hour and a half.
I watched it in several sections on the iPlayer, so I sort of broke it up a little bit. I think I'm going to try and persevere with it. Just Benedict Cumberbatch is showing up, isn't he, towards the end of the second episode, and obviously into the third episode as Richard III. More sort of Shakespearean malarkey we had with...
Up Late with Ryland.
Upstart Crow, which was the new sitcom from Ben Elton, which sort of strikes fear in me ever since The Right Way.
It does, rather. It tends to shiver down your TV-loving spine.
And this is basically, they're going to pick one of Shakespeare's stories and do like a sort of little adaptation starring David Mitchell as Shakespeare, and featuring Lisa Tarbuck as his wife.
I didn't get that. I saw that and I didn't get that from it.
Did you not? Well, they're the kind of mini adaptations of how he came up with the story, but done very much in a kind of like a Blackadder type style way.
It was very Blackadder.
Very Blackadder.
It was.
It was okay. It was inoffensive, I think, is what you would say about this. Is that if they're doing a Shakespeare kind of theme, then this is the kind of thing that you would think they might kind of do. A sort of light-hearted comedy. Apart from Blackadder, there's nothing really much to compare it to. It's not like any of Ben Elton's other rubbish work. David Mitchell is quite funny, so
yeah, he's
quite good.
And Lisa Tarbuck was good.
That's right. It kind of takes the mickey out of Shakespeare, but without being disrespectful.
Yeah, like the old Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
There were two weak links for me, and I think we're going to know what they are. The girl from Raised by Wolves, who is playing the girl from Raised by Wolves, and Rob Rouse, who I've never liked.
Which one's he?
Bottom.
Oh, the assistant.
But for a comedy from Ben Elton, starring people that we know, I really, really found it quite entertaining.
I think Mitchell was a good sort of lead and a good anchor.
I thought I'd struggle for it not, to turn off my "this is David Mitchell" gene that everybody has. I have to say, it really surprised me. I laughed a lot. I really enjoyed it, far more than I thought I was going to. And I liked all the stuff about he's not going bald, he's got a big brain, and just all those sort of, little nods.
Little incidental humour bits. And the fact that it was the first woman in acting, and the fact that he kept saying, you can't do it, women can't.
And I've seen episode 2, and they don't, they carry on that. They don't just... Good. It's not one where they, wipe the board clean and start fresh every week. It's one where they continue the same gags, and I enjoyed it. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it.
Carry on into Con Shakespeare, then.
Oh. Loved it!
Loved it.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Nice little appearance from Mr. Burton.
Matthew Burton, yeah.
The way Shakespeare's written makes it hard to wrap your head around, which is why it's taught in school when your brain's at its bendiest, by people like this man, the fictional English teacher from TV drama Educating Yorkshire.
When you teach your kids Shakespeare, do their heads grow physically bigger?
No, they don't, no.
How does iambic pentameter work?
I think you're talking about iambic pentameter, which is the way that kind of...
Iambic pentameter?
Pentameter, yeah.
Pentameter.
Well, pentameter, so...
I loved the fact that they compared Shakespeare to Taken.
Yeah, that was great. I quite obviously like the bit at the end where they implied that Shakespeare wrote Game of Thrones. That was quite good. And then even they made the joke about the fact that it was played by a woman.
And I turned on midway through when she was saying about Shakespeare's son Hamlet dying.
Yeah.
And I thought, hang on a minute. Oh yeah, it's Con Shakespeare, that's right.
Yeah.
She's got to have her own series, you would think, at some point.
I would hope that, based on this, they're trying out to see whether her and the aforementioned Barry, perhaps, I can't give his surname on this podcast, might be good enough to do spin-offs.
They might have been thick, but Shakespeare's audiences had loads of fun, heckling the actors and cackling a lot in a sort of mad, peasanty way. Like that. And that. To tell me more about Shakespeare's disgusted audiences, I spoke to